Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip. Happy Friday. Gonna do it my way. How you guys doing out there? I hope everybody's doing great. We are live, and we're just gonna get right into it today, guys, because it's Friday and there is no time to waste. We did have some very nice news come in for the crypto industry. Very, very nice news come in for the DeFi space, and we are having a pump here on Bitcoin over this weekend. Very interesting. We still have China tariffs to be worried about. We still have baseline tariffs, but we did get some relief on a tariff pause from the president, which is bringing some renewed optimism, and we haven't gone down to those lower levels that we've been discussing yet. Can we still? We might be able to, but this story I want to talk to you guys about today, and some of the others are very good for crypto. This one regarding DeFi is actually quite huge. Now, it is tax season. If you've not already filed your taxes, you hopefully have filed an extension, or you're taking care of your taxes in the next couple days here. This one has to do with taxes, DeFi, and trading. We're going to talk a little bit about it. We're going to talk about the price action in these markets and exactly what is going on right now in the crypto space. So buckle up. Welcome back. Tap the like button. Subscribe. Got some coffee here on this stream. Haven't been drinking coffee on stream for a while. Oh, we got a random thumbs up that popped up on screen. Cool. You know what that means? That means you should smash the like button. No, the thumbs up didn't come back up again. I don't understand how that happens. That's crazy, man. Good morning to Jason. Good morning to ASUS. Good morning to BSS and Todd from Hawaii. How's it going? Hope you guys are doing great. Oh, it's Scott on his brother's phone. Okay. I was like, you know what? That last name looks familiar, and the guy's from Hawaii might be the guy I know. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's get in here. Let's share the screen and hop into the stuff, folks. So we've got Bitcoin back to 82.2, which ain't too bad. Ain't too bad at all. Let's look at what we've got going on here. Maybe a bounce. Look at our weekly candle. We've got a bounce on the weekly candle, but remember what happened last time we got a bounce on the weekly candle. We found previously support, turned it into resistance after the bounce, and then we tumbled back down. So we could find resistance after this bounce, maybe at 2.63 trillion. This is the total market cap of cryptocurrency we're looking at here, folks. We're looking at the big picture. If we can get a weekly candle close above 2.62, then maybe we are headed back to the upside, but we are getting a bounce off 2.4, coming back up to 2.62. If we can get above it on this weekly candle close, then perhaps we can head back higher. Maybe we can start putting the worst of the tariff fears behind us with this new tariff pause. But I'm not going to get too excited. Okay, guys? We got to stay cautious here. And, even if we're staying cautious, you DCA in at these levels over time, especially with Bitcoin, but with your top altcoins, we still haven't had an altcoin season yet. I know. Yeah, we still haven't had that big boom that we've all been waiting for, but there is a lot of macro economics that is going on right now, which it has prevented us from doing so. The tariffs. We got the inflation fears. We've got potential recession fears. We've got the interest rate combined with inflation. We have the monetary policy. Because of all that has really pumped the brakes here on any kind of altcoin season in conjunction with those tariffs. And we're still on track for everything, guys. Again, these bull markets last about 1,050 days. We've still got time. XRP is right back to that $1.99 level. A lot of resistance and support at $2 right now. I should probably just bring this up to $2. So right now we are dancing, right below the $2 range. We could get a rejection down. This is kind of right back up to that other level. Let's look at Bitcoin a little bit. And I've got some good news. I remain a little bit more bearish in the short term, guys, admittedly, but that doesn't mean that I'm not, DCAing in, okay? You can be bearish in the short term, yet look at that as an awesome buying opportunity. And it's really how I like to look at it. And in this volatility, there's trading opportunities. And if you guys want to trade, you can sign up for Blowfin using our link. But let's look at Bitcoin. We had some resistance at like 83.5 the other day. If we can get above that on this weekend, that would be incredible. But I'm looking for resistance again at 83, like 6, 83.5. If we reject there, then we could, spill back over. So again, the weekend, not as much money typically moving around on the weekend. That is not 100%, right? Sometimes we do get some very big moves on the weekend, but generally, less money flowing around, less moves in the traditional market means potentially less moves in the crypto market. So one way to kind of look at it. Let's get into some of the news, guys, of what's going on. I'm very indecisive on this price action, if you can't tell, and I lean bearish in the short term, and I love these dollar cost averaging opportunities. Okay, so that's kind of in a nutshell where my brain's at. Check out Loaded Lines. Yeah, I've looked at Loaded Lines a lot. I've done some videos on that. Yeah, I mean, they're fine. I don't know. I mean, they were never really a great investment. If you had bought them at the highs before, you made a little bit of money on them. But we did do a giveaway on Loaded Lions and gave away a Loaded Lion. Oh, you know what? Actually, wait a minute. That guy never claimed his Loaded Lion. I still have a Loaded Lion to give away. I just remembered. That guy never claimed his Loaded Lion. We got to do another Loaded Lion giveaway. I've still got that Loaded Lion. I got to give that Loaded Lion away. Speaking of Loaded Lions, I got to give a Loaded Lion away because that guy never claimed his Loaded Lion. So we're going to be doing that giveaway again because that fellow a few weeks ago, I totally forgot about it. Never claimed it. So guess what? We're giving away a free Loaded Lion. Maybe I'm going to redo the giveaway. I don't know. Maybe we'll just redo the giveaway. That's cool. I'm excited to redo that again. The guy never claimed. I picked a winner and the guy never claimed it. Hollered at him on X and he never claimed it. So I'll double check to make sure that guy never tried to claim it. But yeah, got to get that going. So let's look at some of the news, guys. Again, welcome back to the Crypto Report. I'm Crypto Kip. Tap the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is what we've got going on right now. This is where people's, heads are at. Buried, hidden, hands on the face. Consumer sentiment craters as inflation expectations soar. Okay. This is the negative. I'm going to start with a little negative, unfortunately. Sentiment has now lost more than 30% since December 2024. Growing worries about a trade war develops that have oscillated the course over the year. Here you go. Consumer sentiment craters to lowest level since June of 2022. Look at this chart. Consumer sentiment is way down, very low, getting worse. People are unhappy. People are feeling the pain from inflation. Here's the one-year inflation expectations surging to the highest level since 1981. Now, we're waiting on a Fed rate cut, okay? We're waiting on a Fed rate cut, and we haven't seen it come through yet, and it's getting dicey with these inflation expectations getting higher. This trade war continuing to kind of, well, it was escalating, and now it's kind of, we had the pause, which is, I think, why we're getting a little bit of a pump right now. Looking at if we're on track for a rate cut, looking towards May, looking at a rate pause, again, 75% chance. That's right within line with kind of what we were looking at yesterday. In terms of a rate cut by June, there's a 63% chance we're likely going to see a rate cut by June. But these odds are going up that we might not. And part of the reason the odds are going up that we might not is because of this image that you're looking at right here. It's because of this headline that you're looking at right here. China hikes U.S. tariffs 125%, but draws a line there. And because these inflation expectations are getting higher because of why? Because of tariffs. Okay. Whizbang says, always waiting on something, the never-ending con. The truth is there's always news in these markets. It's whether the S&P 500, whether it's a stock and you're waiting for earnings, whether it's crypto, there's always news lingering around the corner. There's always breaking news. And unfortunately, right now, there has been a lot of negative news. And the real thing of it is not a lot of people are cut out to ride the wave of the emotional volatility and the news volatility in these markets. There's a lot of people that just, want to set their money into some kind of an account where you can just earn 5% and forget about it. And that's the reality that some people like to do, or you just buy the S&P 500 and forget about it. Crypto is not for the faint of heart, folks. And right now, markets in general aren't for the faint of heart. This is a difficult time to be a hodler, but it is probably the most rewarding time to be buying, because as inflation expectations are the highest they've ever been, as consumer sentiment craters to lows, and as the stock market is quite a bit down from where it previously was, these are dollar cost averaging opportunities. And so while sometimes we do talk about negative news, we have to, right? It's not all roses and sunshine, that's just the reality of the situation. China called uncle on the tariff game. I don't know. I don't know what that means exactly. I don't exactly know what that means. Whiz Bang in the chat says that bull market's been over since December. We're gonna see. I don't know. We're gonna see. I don't agree with that, but historically, that's not what we've seen. So let's look at CoinGlass. Let's look at a little more data. Again, I do have a bigger story for you that I want to share with you. In terms of percentage returns for the month of February, we were red. Then we went red in March, which wasn't a surprise because historically every red February led to a red March, and this March was no different. Now we're in tax season, April, and we are red right now. We have the tariff thing going on. We have the inflation fears coming up. We might have a red April, but as we creep closer towards the end of the year, which should be the end of the bull market, if I had to make a prediction about the best time for crypto coming up, it's probably going to be sometime in like August, September, October, if I had to guess. October is very likely going to be very green. It could be insanely green, but that should also be kind of the end of the bull market is what I'm thinking. They announced it this morning. What is Uncle? I actually don't know what Uncle is. Is that an acronym? UNCLE? Is that I don't know what that is. I got to look into that. Quick update on the SEC Ripple case. Ripple and the SEC file joint motion to pause appeals in the XRP case. Now, we've been talking about this XRP case for a while. It was supposed to have been settled and over. Then the news story came out the other day that it wasn't over. It's not over. But now the SEC and Ripple file a joint motion to pause appeals in the case. Why? What's going on? Well, Paul Atkins, the new chair of the SEC, has officially been confirmed by the Senate. SEC chair pick Paul Atkins confirmed by the Senate. This man is pro-crypto. He believes in the promise of a robust, innovative capital markets that are responsive to the needs of investors, that provide capital to make our economy the best in the world. That's what he said anyway. Under Atkins, the SEC is expected to reduce corporate disclosures, cut back on regulation, and be more crypto-friendly. Is he going to be crypto-friendly enough to drop the SEC case against Ripple? Well, both the current people sitting in the SEC and Ripple seem to believe so, because there have been settlement talks ongoing between Ripple and the SEC for a while. Brad Garlinghouse came out and said that they reached a settlement, and we are probably going to see this case officially end once Paul Atkins takes office. I think that they're kind of both on the same page of this, the SEC and Ripple. There was a third party that recently tried to kind of file more evidence in favor of Ripple and the American public recently, and it honestly, it was a ridiculous story to come out. This thing's basically over. Why waste your money continuing going to court is kind of where they're at, and I think they're trying to not waste their resources in the next few days. Atkins could be Atkins could officially start within the next few days. I think he was confirmed by Senate. Well, let's see here. So he was confirmed by the Senate, but I don't think he's actually like. No, I mean, so he's confirmed, and so what he might be doing is like taking action very soon. There was another thing that I saw in this article. Well, the Senate confirms Atkins as the new SEC chair on Wednesday, April 9th. It's unclear when he will take office. So just because he's confirmed doesn't mean he took office. So looking at the past, it could be several days before Atkins is sworn into office as the new SEC chair. Gary Gensler was sworn in 3 days after his confirmation. Likely Monday, Tuesday. So probably not the 12th, I don't think. Probably Monday, Tuesday, I think. So maybe the 12th, 13th, 14th or 15th, maybe, would be a reasonable time to kind of see him confirmed. And that might be when we actually really finally see the XRP lawsuit ended. Rake, did you hear about the penguin crashing a chopper in South Africa? No. Good thing we're taxing the penguins, huh? Todd says April 16th. Falling's uncle means that you're in a headlock and you're tapping out before you pass out. Oh, I did see. Okay, yeah, I saw that too here. China hikes U.S. tariffs to 125%, but draws the line there. So apparently, like, that's it. That's as far as they're gonna go. Maybe. I mean, this is also you gotta take everything with a grain of salt, because like, if you think the U.S. media is reporting properly on what the Chinese officials are saying, like, no, they're not. You know, look, every country has their media outlets that they have in their pocket. Okay, so look, eventually there's going to be so much pain that there will be a stop to this battle. Like, you can, unless we're just going to halt trade altogether, like, that would be crazy. We can't do that. We just can't do it. So yeah, I mean, it's getting to a point. Maybe this uncle thing, maybe that's why we're getting a little bit of a boost up today, is because, you know, China's allegedly drawing the line there. Let's look into this story a little bit more. Let's read into this just a slight bit more. The Trump administration warned Chinese officials against retaliation before the measures were announced, and said that Chinese President Xi Jinping would request a call with Trump. Beijing hinted it would not engage in further tariff hikes, even if Washington continues its escalations. The White House now clarified on Thursday that the tariffs on Chinese imports are now at least 145%. Trump and members of cabinet attempted to reassure investors that things would work out with China. Great certainty that after the pause, they're looking to negotiate new trade deals. So there's kind of a timeline. So let's look at the timeline. February 1st, we landed a 10% tariff on all Chinese imports. February 4th, China retaliates with 15% extra on coal and natural gas, and a 10% tariff on crude oil, agriculture, machinery, and large cars. March 3rd, we raised another 10%. Now it's 20% on the whole from the U.S. March 4th, China encounters 50% tariff on chicken, counters with more tariffs on chicken, wheat, corn, cotton, 10% on some other agriculture products. And then we got crazy. Okay. Yeah, I don't see too much about the pause on this one, but you know, the headline was, and draws a line there. I don't know. Speculation. Let's see. They'll draw the line when we actually draw the line. If all of a sudden they hike, you know, tariffs more, we're going to have to see. They could certainly hike tariffs more. I don't know. I mean, I think China wants to play hardball. We're going to have to see how that one pans out, folks. Okay. No, I want to find out about this penguin though. Can I look this penguin up? Give me 1 second. I got to look this penguin up because I just can't with this penguin. S&P 500 is coming a little higher. Oh my gosh, this is real. Yeah, so a penguin was getting transported in a helicopter. And since the penguin wasn't secured, the penguin got out and started squawking around. And oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. Sign of the times, man. All right, this is the big story for the day. This is why I have this is huge in my thumbnail, guys. Okay? This is why I've got this is huge in the thumbnail. Trump becomes the first president to sign crypto bill into law, ending anti-DeFi IRS rule. The Biden-era rule would have obligated DeFi platforms to comply with tax reporting requirements designed for brokers. All right, so what is this all about? Well, the Biden administration wanted DeFi platforms to have the identity of the individuals that were utilizing these platforms and report all the transactions that these individuals are doing, and so that the IRS could basically collect taxes on it. The way it really works is you're responsible for reporting your taxes to the IRS, and it is up to you. It is not up to the DeFi platforms to do so. It shouldn't be up to the DeFi platforms to do so. That's not the point of DeFi. It defeats the whole purpose of DeFi. So it's on us to report our taxes to the IRS when you're interacting with DeFi. And yes, that's tracking your transactions. And there are different tools to track your transactions that you can use, and you can plug in with certain DeFi protocols. Not all of them, but a lot of them now. But this is a big bill. So Donald Trump now signed this crypto-related bill into law, now formally eliminating this IRS rule that would have required them to collect and report this taxpayer information as a Robin Hood might, right? But Uniswap isn't like a Robin Hood because there's no CEO, okay? The bill, in fact, is not just the first crypto-related bill made law by Trump, but also the first crypto-related bill signed by any U.S. president. So history has been made. The resolution knocks down the IRS so-called DeFi broker rule, which was, again, same thing. DeFi is a catch-all term. Yeah, okay, we know what this is. Trading, borrowing, lending. If you don't know what DeFi is, we got a lot of educating to do, folks. You should know what DeFi is by now, but you should just know. A lot of exciting talk. Major step forward for this financial technology development and securing the United States positions the crypto capital of the world. So there have been a lot of folks that were likely not reporting their DeFi transactions to the IRS. The IRS was upset about it, and the Biden administration put the law into place to force DeFi platforms, which really, I mean, they can't even, like, the DeFi platforms, like, I don't even think they're capable of giving those tax reporting requirements, which was then just basically going to trigger a lawsuit against all these DeFi platforms and just try to shut down all these DeFi projects and not allow Americans to participate in these DeFi projects. So this is big because this keeps DeFi alive in the USA and accessible for Americans, but you still got to report your taxes properly to the US government. The SEC's Crypto Task Force is holding their second roundtable on crypto regulation today, actually. So on a Friday, they're getting together, talking more about what's going on here with the future of crypto. Again, Paul Atkins is now in power, coming up soon. He's confirmed, so he's going to actually take office soon. Probably get that XRP lawsuit dropped. And anything else that's outstanding, I think that it's just going to be kind of a clean slate for crypto. And perhaps once we get this Paul guy in office, perhaps then we're actually going to be able to have Donald Trump now pass hopefully another, where is it? I don't know where I just did with that. Hopefully he can pass another bill into power where maybe we're not going to get taxed on American-based cryptos, capital gains tax. So we'll see. But very exciting times with Paul Atkins coming into power. Little uncertainty still. It's looking less likely, just by a couple percentage points, that a rate cut's coming in June now, which isn't the best. But we are getting a little bit of a relief rally. Oh, look at there's the stream, guys. There's the stream. Repost our stream if you haven't done so. Smash the like button if you haven't done so as well. I'm bullish on crypto, guys. Do not be mistaken, but we're at a tough time. Some resistance up here at, right up here at about 83.5, 83.4. So let's see what shakes out there. Let's see how it shakes out up there. Not a ton of news today. That was the big story for the day. Kind of chatted about the markets a little bit. What else is going on in your minds, folks? Paul Atkins will begin passing ETFs very quickly, I bet. Yeah, that's another good point. We might get ETFs just like coming like that down the pipeline. That could be another bullish catalyst. Looking for bullish catalysts, a Fed pivot, okay, a Fed put, just an emergency rate cut to try to fix the market. Could be an option, not the best option. The best option is the tariff thing goes to the wayside, inflation continues to make progress, and then we just get a natural rate cut. Other things that could be bullish is no taxes on your American-based cryptos. Maybe that comes with Paul Atkins in power. Another good thing that could come is the ETFs get passed. So there are some bullish things that could pop up. Absolutely. Are you thinking we float up for the weekend? I'm thinking we don't. I'm thinking we trade sideways for the weekend. I think we dance around this level and tease people this weekend. Good day, Kip. Off topic. What happened to SPF? SPF? You mean SBF? You mean SBF? I think he was transferred to a new prison, and that's that. Between America and China, I believe the U.S. can bounce back to number one spot again. I feel China will bluff at times. Everybody bluffs. Everybody bluffs. I feel a century of the dip is on the horizon. So you think there's a lot more pain ahead, Ray? Who knows? Which ETF would you be most excited for? Probably, probably Solana ETF. I mean, that's right up that. I mean, you're joking about a Fartcoin ETF, but you say Fartcoin, I say Solana. You say Fartcoin, I say Solana. Fartcoin, Solana. Fartcoin, Solana. Fartcoin's on Solana. It's been really strong. It's stupid, but all the big memes are on Solana. Solana ETF's probably the most exciting ETF. Marlon says, China isn't afraid to work towards common goal as a country, even if the citizens suffer. I worry Americans aren't ready to do the same in the long term. Well, the difference is in America, we got more freedom. In China, it's communist. So you kind of don't have a choice in China. And I'll make the argument that you're better off having the choice. So in the long term, I think that everything balances out. We're going to push really far in one direction, and then when that doesn't work out too well, we'll start moving towards the other direction, and then we're going to move too far in that direction, and then we're going to start pushing back the other way, and it's always going to be this push and pull, back and forth. Like, look at these hand motions, like a jellyfish, okay? No, those typically don't, Daryl. Those typically don't. That's not the same as a spot ETF. And I'd argue that you're just better off buying the cryptos than the ETFs in the first place. But the ETFs definitely... Look what the ETFs did for Bitcoin. They brought the inflows in big time to Bitcoin, my friends. My question is, if you see every XRP ETF that's been applied for get approved, how much capital do you think could bring to XRP? I think that brings us to the $5 XRP, easy, and $10 too. Not overnight, but with more bull run and with those spot ETFs for XRP going live, I think that things look good. 100% Kip, freedom is key, but trying to turn the country around in like 10 years when they set their mind to it. Well, that's what happens when you take over all the businesses. You know? Simon says, what's the scoop? Scoop is DeFi looking better under Trump era. Short or long? And I'm on the sidelines right now thinking short. I'm thinking short still. On this pump, I'm thinking short. I'm looking at this trend line here and I'm like, And I'm not telling you guys to do that. You got to pick your own levels, okay, guys? You got to pick your own levels, but kind of looking at 83K and thinking maybe we see some resistance up there. Maybe we spike up to this next level, 84.7, and reject back down. But I still am not surrendering the $70-something thousand price level. I just think we still got a lot of news stories that to come out with China and the U.S. and tariffs. So, you with me, Simon? Great minds think alike. Going on a date with my wife tonight. We're trying to figure out what to eat. Got a babysitter. Got some babysitter action. What's my leverage play? I like just playing Bitcoin. And like, if I'm really risky, 20x. And if I'm just doing like a standard trade, 5 to 10 is just kind of, I like to play around in those. And then I've been doing a lot of trades with XRP. I was shorting XRP, making good money to the downside. Yeah. Maybe the Paul Atkins getting actually put into office could be a little bullish catalyst, but Around Town says, sorry for asking dumb questions. No dumb questions, brother. No dumb questions. On Blowfin, how do you take profits on a trade and keep the trade running? You know what? I can't show you that right now, but it's really easy. It's really easy. I would YouTube it. It is really easy to do. It's really easy to do. I don't have it pulled up. I don't want to pull it up right now. It's really easy to do. It's really standard. I mean, you could YouTube it. You'd probably find a video. Check out the pinned video on our YouTube channel. Maxi might run through that. And perhaps maybe we should do another tutorial on it. Yeah. JREM is saying like take 50% out. Yeah. David Betts says, hey bro, I missed out on all the games because I'm still bearish on the conditions of crypto. You're not crazy. I get it. Yeah, just closing a percentage of it is great to do, actually. Take out 10%, take out 25%, take out 50%. It's pretty simple. I'm sorry, I just can't like share it on my screen right now. I gotta like log in and do all this stuff, and I don't want to do that right now. Scott says Japanese steakhouse. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about going to Korean barbecue tonight. Crow ETF? Yeah, it's coming. All right, guys. I still did a long stream. It seems shorter because I didn't do a 10-minute intro, but, you know, nice little stream. Around Town says, if you made a vid, I'll find it on your channel. Yeah, there's a pinned video from Black Sea on our YouTube channel. It should be our pinned video. It's a Blowfin tutorial. No, Daryl, do you have any suggestions for a movie? Maybe that's not a bad idea. Any news on why we got the pump? Maybe because China, this uncle thing that people were talking, like they're drawing the line at tariffs. They're like, we don't want to escalate tariffs anymore. That's a rumor though. So, and maybe because Paul Atkins is confirmed by the Senate. Maybe. We also do have the tariff 90-day pause. So I think people are still digesting that, and it's like, well, that is good, but it's not because the tariffs were China are still alive and there's 10% base tariffs, but it's better than, so I think, do you know what I'm saying? I think like that's going on right now. And people are buying this dip because these dips are awesome. These dips are awesome for buying. Novocaine? Is that a new movie? Is that a scary movie? My wife doesn't like scary movies. Sounds like a scary movie. Sounds messed up. I like him, but I've been playing Breath of the Wild, Zelda lately. Dude, it's been so fun. That's a fun game. Playing that at night. All right, guys. I don't know. I heard the Minecraft. Is that Minecraft movie out? I heard people were freaking out over that. With Jason Momoa. You think Sol's going back to 100 soon? Look, if Bitcoin comes down to 70, and it might. Oh, look. Oh, Bitcoin's spiking right now. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, I think it could. I think it could come back down below. I think it could come back down below 100. Solana could come back down below 100. I think. It doesn't have, I think you dollar cost everything now, because it's not like you're waiting for it to go below 100 to like claim a position. I don't want people to get confused. You shouldn't be like waiting for a target to finally get in. You should be like, oh, it's discounted, or like, oh, I buy every day. Oh, I buy every week. Oh, I buy every 2 weeks. Oh, I buy every month, no matter what on the assets I believe in. Oh, if there's a discount, maybe I buy a little bit extra, or maybe you just wait for discounts. Well, you have a discount right now. These are some of the ideas. So we'll see, guys. That's all I got. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'm Crypto Kip. This is Crypto Report. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, DCA, HODL. Sign up for Blowfin if you want to. Around town. I hope you find that tutorial. Let me know next stream if you figure it out. If not, we'll make another one for you on that, because it is really easy to do. Sorry, I can't show it to you right now. That's all I got, guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, DCA, HODL. Till next time. I'll see you in the next one, folks. Have a great weekend. Peace.